Hello and welcome back. I am jeffgrantMEDIA. In today's video, we're going to do something that's been requested for quite some time. While it might not be the official request, which was multiple times to talk about and show my entire boot collection, I've got a lot of boots, and a lot of the boots that I have had over the years too, I've given some to friends because it's just physically impossible to keep all of this stuff. But I figured I would showcase some of my favorites and at least one boot from a couple brands that I have multiple boots from and brands that I really enjoy. But first, let's have a word from this episode's sponsor. The Arkfomor Yellowstone Gentleman Warm Shell Defense Gloves come in at $48 USD. These are a great windproof barrier that work as a standalone glove, or for extra warmth you can combine these with the Spider Silk electric gloves to keep yourself nice and toasty when those temps drop below zero. The warm shell design of the Yellowstone Gentleman uses high performance thermal fills to trap a static layer of air to create a natural heat lock. How I see myself using these are for those longer winter hikes that we love to take as a family. We often end up going further than we anticipate due to the calmness and beauty the winter offers. That and the lack of bugs and mosquitoes, because the summer months those mosquitoes can be a killer and drive us back to the car much earlier than we anticipate. But on those cold winter hikes, when we get out deep into the woods and we stop for a breather, a drink, a snack, and a picture, we cool down quite quickly. And on that trek back, when you're still holding that cold bottle of water because your daughter keeps asking for it every 3 seconds, the Yellowstone Gentlemen are a great option to slide on your paws to keep you toasty warm and to keep you from freezing your digits off while you're carrying said bottle of water. I also think these would be a great option, once again pairing with the Spider Silk heated liners when we are sleigh riding in the winter, because if your kid is like mine, once you get to the sleigh riding destination, they will continuously steal the tube and you will just be sitting there in the snow, in the cold, while they sleigh ride. If you are unsure of your glove size, do not worry, Arkfomor has you covered. They have a size chart and detailed instructions of how to measure your hand so you get the right fit every time. For more information or for purchase, there are links below in both the description and the pinned comment of this video. Okay, let's start with an oldie but goodie. This pair of Chippewa boots. These are minimum 20 years old. I'm surprised the soles have not rotted away, to be honest with you. Probably close to 25 years old. I believe these have 400 grams of thin slate, and I bought these when I worked at Quince Army Navy, a store that we closed in 2007. It's currently 2026 at the time of filming, and these boots have been around and been in my collection since well before we closed the store. But this is a pair of boots. I love Chippewas. I can't really speak to what they are like today. I haven't had a pair of, I guess, modern Chippewas, if you will, but I have had this pair since early 2000s, and these have been worn more, probably one of the two, other one we'll talk about next, worn one of the top 2 pairs of boots that I've worn the most in my entire life, and I love them. They're still comfortable to this day. I still wear them to this day. These are, if you will, my shit-kicking boots because they're so beat up. I have conditioned them. I definitely need to condition them again, but yeah, these, until I really started getting more into boots and doing this, these were my go-tos. If I needed a pair of boots, it was either these or my double H's that we're going to talk about next, but these are basically the 2 pairs of boots I went to. I did have some other boots. I've had a different pair of Chippewas that were the same style, but they were unlined, or they were non-insulated. They were lined, but they weren't as comfortable as these, so I would just wear these even in the summer months, and these are like my winter boots. These were, I was shoveling outside boots before I got a new pair of duck boots, because I had an old pair of duck boots that wore out. These were like my let's go sleigh riding boots. Like, these have been through everything. These are I don't know how many decks I built between my buddy's 2 houses. He doesn't own 2. He had one, sold that and bought another house, but we built a lot of decks between the 2 houses he had, the deck in my backyard, my shed. These were probably the boots that I wore basically anytime I had to do any type of project or carpentry work. These are the boots I was wearing. I wore these all the time when I worked at the Youth Detention Center in the winter because I spent most of my time outside. These things have been around and been on my feet for a very long time. And yeah, old pair of Chippewas, American-made version. I could probably still read the style number on the tongue, to be honest with you. These are, is that a 9? God, I got to do this now. 22195. So there we go. Pair of American-made Chippewa style number 22195. And then the next pair of boots, another American pair of boots, is my old Double H Wellington boots. These things are, these are worn down. Again, just about as old as the Chips, probably the same age as the Chips. Probably got them around the same time frame. This was probably when I started getting into Johnny Cash. I worked there, I sold them. We had a black pair of Wellingtons too, but they were a little bit lower. I think these are a 12-inch. They were, I think, a 10-inch, but they weren't nearly as comfortable, so I ended up getting the brown ones, even though I wanted to be the man in black. But yeah, I got these. I probably didn't wear them too much when I first got them, but the more I wore them, I fell in love with these. So like these, when I talk about my cowboy boots, these are the boots I'm talking about. These are my old Double H American-made 2555s. I have tried to buy these again. These I can get them resold, but love these things so much that I still wear them to this day quite frequently in the winter months. A little warm for me to wear in the summer. I do run hot, so having this much leather on my leg, I can't really deal with it, but you know, in the winter months, I will definitely wear these whenever I'm feeling a little bit like a cowboy. Now let's move into the two boot brands that I first started working with when I started doing menswear and footwear reviews. I don't remember which brand I did first, but the Craft and Glory are closer to me. This isn't the first boot I got. This is the Craft and Glory Gurkha. I did the Craft and Glory Mock Toes first, but these Gurkhas are really nice. It's cap toe. The presentation on these was one of the nicest presentations I've seen in a boot or a shoe, and I probably don't have as much wear in these as I do those Mock Toes because they were one of my first pairs of boots that I ever got, got from Craft and Glory and got as a boot to review for the channel. But I wore these a lot, and these were the first time I really put the Craft and Glory waterproofing. They're leather, so eventually they will come through, but put the waterproofing to the test because I wore these when I had to go get my license renewed, and wouldn't you know it, 10 minutes after I left my house, the skies unleashed and it poured on me, and the DMV didn't open for like another hour and the line was already forming. And because, you know, the DMV is hell on earth, I didn't want to be there for 8 hours. I didn't want to be there for 6 hours. I stood out in the rain with, I think, an Elsa umbrella because the only thing I had in the car, it barely covered my head and my shoulders. My feet got soaked. I had these on and my feet were still dry, and I stood outside for at least an hour in the pouring rain. Even after they opened the doors, the line was so long that it took me probably another 20-25 minutes to get in the building, even after they opened the doors. They had these on my feet whole time, and I stayed dry. And they're a comfortable boot. I've worn the hell out of them. They're still dusty. I definitely didn't dust them off after the last time I wore them. I probably anticipated wearing them again right away, but when you get a bunch of boots, sometimes it's hard to just put the same pair back on. But yeah, Craft and Glory Gurkha's really good boot. And up until recently, I've been really into my Craft and Glory boots. I have not been as satisfied as of late with their offerings as I was in the past. The prices have gone up considerably. And when your prices are about the same as a well-known competitor that has been in the game for a long time, you're just better off going with the well-known competitor, and the leather is much nicer on these boots anyway. But when the Craft and Glories were just starting, they were a very budget-friendly brand, and they put out a really good product for a pretty good price point. Now, again, the price point has come up a little bit too high for my taste, so while they are still a decent boot, I would certainly recommend putting your money someplace else, or into this next brand, which would be Parkhurst. This is my original pair of... Yes, this is my original pair of Parkhurst. No, this is not. These have the green laces. They look so similar. This is my second pair of Parkhurst, the Richmonds. My other pair is over there on the floor. So this is my newer pair. This is the new 618 last version of the boot. Really, really like Parkhurst. Again, I don't remember what came first, the Parkhurst or the Craft and Glory. They came in right about the same time. I was basically wearing these a day or two each and then swapping back and forth between my Parkhurst or my first Craft and Glory, the Mock Toes. But I love these. And if you want to get a good boot brand and you don't want to dip your toes into the Red Wing or anything yet, I really, really recommend Parkhurst. I love these boots. These are very comfortable. I'm just going to grab them. They're right there. I can see them. This is my original pair of Parkhurst, the Richmond, on the 618 last. And these have gotten some wear on them, and whew, it's a little dusty over there on the floor. I haven't swept because this room, it's impossible to keep this room clean. There's so much stuff everywhere, and stuff just keeps getting moved around that the dust bunnies hide in a corner and they just blow to the next side of the room. But this was my first pair of boots from Parkhurst, and these, I love these things. These are so comfortable. These are well broken in. When I'm going into the city, these are the boots that I'm wearing because I know I can walk miles and miles and miles in these things, and they're so incredibly comfortable. And I would say the new 618 last, 602M is the old last, the new 618 last, it's really, really comfortable. I can wear these boots. While I wouldn't say the newer ones are as comfortable, it's only because these aren't as old or as broken in. These do have a couple of months worth of wear in them now, but I think I would risk it with the new version of the Parkhurst because these things have been incredibly comfortable for me. I've been putting a lot of miles on these, had them probably a couple months worth of wear in them now, and they are just as comfortable as I remember my original pair being, and really love these Parkhurst boots. So if you were looking at like kind of getting in, you're dipping your toes into it, I think Parkhurst would be a really good brand to start that journey with. Now, the next one we should talk about, I guess since I alluded to it a few times, will be the Red Wing Iron Rangers. Now this pair, I bought these probably at this point a little over a year ago, and I will say out of all of my boots, if I'm not reviewing a pair of boots, this is probably my go-to. Now, there's a lot of, I guess, hype on these boots, how awesome they are, and there's also kind of the stigma that these things take forever to break in. And while I will say they are a heritage style boot, they definitely did take a little bit longer to break in than something a little bit more modern. They weren't that bad. A couple of weeks and I feel like they were fully broken in, and now these are one of my most comfortable boots. So really, I would wear either these or my Parkhurst Richmonds into the city if I was going into the city for a long weekend. This would be either the Richmonds or my Red Wing Iron Rangers would be the pair of boots that I would choose to put a lot of miles on my feet in the city. That's walking on a lot of concrete, which is not easy on the feet or the knees, and this would be a pair of boots that I would definitely toss on and be comfortable to wear. These are well broken in. One thing I really like about these is that the insoles, once they break in, the Veg Tan insole, it molds to your foot, and it's basically like you got a custom fitting boot once you finally break these in. Yes, they do take a little bit longer than a modern pair of boots, but they don't take months and months to break in. I've gotten this debate. Some people say, oh, I put my Red Wings on and they're the most comfortable thing right out the box. Great. Your feet might be made of iron, but everyone is built differently. While I'm sure it does take some people a couple months to fully break these in, I said a couple of weeks and I was good to go. I did use these with the Rose Anvil boot breakers, and they felt fine with the boot breakers, and once they broke in, I took them out. I think I actually have the boot breakers. They're in my new version of the Richmonds because I got these a half a size bigger based on the recommendation, and they're not in there for comfort. They're actually in there because the boots were a hair too big. So I put the 2mm foam boot breakers in these, and these fit me perfect now. While it does probably give me a little bit more comfort as well, it wasn't necessarily because I needed that extra comfort in the boot. The boot itself was comfortable enough. I just needed to take up a tiny bit of space in the boot, and now those the new Parkhurst Richmonds fit me great. But really, if I was going into the city, New York or Philly for a long weekend, it would be either of these pairs of what I would be taking with me. Now, two other pairs of boots that are incredibly comfortable. We'll start with the Danner Bull Run Mock Toes. Now, this is, I would say, a modern boot. This is definitely a lot more comfortable. It's very comfortable, actually, right out of the box, right out of the gate. Minimum to no break-in period. This one's kind of an interesting one, though. These just kind of showed up at my door one day. I didn't order them. I didn't request them. I had been talking with some of the social media people at Danner, and I messaged them. I'm like, did you guys, because they sent me like a t-shirt and some stickers and some socks and stuff. So I messaged them. I'm like, did you guys send me a pair of boots? Because I just got a pair of Danner Bull Runs and I didn't request them. And they found out that Huckberry sent them to me, but I didn't request them through Huckberry. And my contact at the time is like, I didn't send them to you. So somehow I got these sent to me, which I'm very grateful for because these boots are really, really comfortable. I was really interested in them and I wanted to check them out for some time. I just kept checking out other things and didn't get around to them. And then a pair showed up at my doorstep and I was like, wow, these things are really, really comfortable. I don't think I had ever actually had a pair of Danners until I got these. And yeah, I've really liked them. These are, again, very comfortable right out the gate, American made. mock toe, pretty classic look. And if you are looking for a mock toe, I was also interested in the Red Wing mock toes. And while they're great, I've tried them on. I would probably buy a pair one day. These are much more comfortable right out of the box. These are a very, very comfortable boot right away. You can basically put these on and go for a walk and be completely fine. They have very minimal to no break-in period. So the Danner Bull Run, it's got a classic look to it. It's a pretty classic boot as well, and it's really comfortable right out of the box. Another boot that I found to be incredibly comfortable that I don't honestly wear as much as I should is my pair of Grantstones. And the reason I don't wear them as much as I should is because I don't wear black boots too often. To me, black boots are a little bit dressy, so I equate these more with dress shoes. I do have an actual pair, they're down there. They're just a cheap, no-name pair of black dress work boots, work shoes. Dress boots. Pair of no-name black dress boots that I had just bought because I had to go to a funeral and I didn't have a pair of dress shoes, so they fit, they're comfortable. I bought those, and those are like my dress shoes for a very long time. But honestly, whenever I have to look a little bit nicer, these are the a little dusty because they've been sitting on the shelf. These are the boots that I grab, and they are incredibly comfortable. These things feel amazing. They fit, they slide on your feet like butter. They fit great. These are so incredibly comfortable. If they had, I think, the veg tan midsole, I would probably wear them a little bit more casually because I think that kind of maybe sets them off a little bit. But because we have a full black midsole and black uppers, they just, to me, look a little bit more dressy. So whenever I have to look a little bit nicer, this is definitely my grab and go. So I don't wear them as much as I should, but they are so incredibly comfortable. I was so surprised when I put these things on my feet. I'm like, wow, these are truly a very great, comfortable boot. Now, let's move into a boot that I'm currently actually testing at this time, which would be the new pair of Unmarked. These are the DB Hunter in the vanilla T-core leather. I can't remember. It's got a long name to it, but these things, this leather, look at this leather. Oh my God, you got to get a close-up look at this leather. This leather it's just awesome. I just love the way this leather looks. It's just amazing, and these fit and feel really, really nice. Now, this is my second pair of Unmarked boots. I have another pair, the veg, I can see them from right here. They're on the shelf. I have a pair of veg tan ones, and they are great as well, but this is the pair that I'm actually currently actively testing, and I love this leather. These are really, really comfortable. These are great. I would say probably had about a week break in time or so on them, and now that they fit pretty good. And one of the things that I'm currently going through is I'm still not 100% healed. You probably heard me complain about this in a lot of videos now, my back injury, and I have been wearing these through this recovery process, and I will say, because my back and hip and all the way down through my leg into my knee was quite sore and tender for a very long time, and I was doing a lot of limping, this probably wasn't the best pair of boots to wear right out of the gate when I started to, it was right about when I was starting to feel a little bit better. I got these in for testing, and I wore them. It probably didn't help my recovery too much, so I did also test out a different pair of boots that I think definitely aided in my recovery. The Walking on Air boots are very, very comfortable, 3D scan, podiatrist designed boots, which I think helped me quite a bit. But now that these are broken in, I'm still not 100% healed, but these have actually been feeling great, so I can wear these. I just took the dog for a walk in these after I got home from work today, so even though that first week or so is probably not the best time I should have been wearing these when I was finally starting to feel a little bit of relief, I probably should have worn something with a little bit softer sole or something broken in. Once they broke in, they're completely comfortable now. I can wear these and I can walk no problem. I'm walking upwards of 2 miles in a clip, and I'm not having any like pain or fatigue where I have to stop like I was when I was first injured. But yeah, great. Absolutely love this leather. These boots feel and look great. Really, really like these boots. Again, second pair from Unmarked. Love them. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you, it's not a boot, so I'm going to call it an honorable mention, but they also make boots, but these are awesome. These are my Goral Rose Anvil Collab Smugs in the Rose Anvil Blood Core leather. Now, these are more of a Chuck Taylor design, but man, I love these things. These are great. Actually, today, Goral reached out again to see if I wanted to check anything else out, and I put in a request for some boots from Goral. So we might be seeing some Goral boots on the channel now, which is why I figured it would be a good honorable mention, because they do make boots, but I absolutely love these Smugs. These are my go-to. If I need to wear a pair of sneakers, this is what I've been wearing. I've actually been doing, well, I'm done with it now, but I was doing PT. So when I was going to PT, I wouldn't wear boots. I was wearing my Gorals, and I did PT in these, which is mostly just, at this point for me, I was just stretching. I wasn't doing like a lot of physical activity. It was mostly stretching, kind of like yoga poses, and stretching my body back into place where it should have been, because a few things popped out of place, which is why I was in so much pain for so long. Things just weren't where they should have been, but I wore these to do PT in, and now like when I'm grabbing a pair of sneakers, it's either boots or these. That's what I've been wearing. So basically, I've been wearing my Unmarks or my Gorals for the past couple of weeks, month now, because I think I'm due to do the full real user review on the current Unmarks, but these are great. Honorable mention. Hopefully we see a pair of Goral boots on the channel real soon. Now I have a lot more boots. I can see some from where I'm sitting, but I could see at least 2 other pairs that are from Craft and Glory. I can see another pair from Unmarked. I have some Lems that I love, some hikers. I have other Danner boots too. I have a couple different pairs of Danners that are mostly hikers. They're downstairs. I keep my hikers in a different spot so I can kind of just grab those and go. But yeah, these are probably a good representation of what I currently have. If you have any questions on either of any of these or any of the other boots that I have or have reviewed, or anything you want me to maybe test out or try to get a pair in to take a look at, drop a comment down below. Yeah, let's talk about some boots. I like boots. It's getting into summer, so I'll probably be wearing more sneakers because I do run quite hot, but the fall comes upon us very, very quickly, so we're gonna need to start lining up some boots for next fall. Especially some of these things are custom made and they take 40 business days to get. So if I order a pair in the summer, I won't have them until the fall. So let me know what you might want me to take a look at. And again, have any questions on anything you see here or anything else that you think I may have or I've seen a video on this channel, drop a comment down below, ask me some questions. Yeah, I answered just about every question, and I'm pretty resilient. Pretty resilient is not, I'm definitely not resilient now. If I was resilient, I wouldn't be complaining about this back injury for over 2 months now. But I'm pretty responsive and quick to reply to comments. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications the next time I post a brand new video. Good night.